Coming up, fresh from the showcase at SwissWatchExpo, one of the absolute coolest Porsche Carrera Tag Heuer Carrera watches that we've ever reviewed here on SwissWatchExpo. I'm Michael, fresh from the showcase here at SwissWatchExpo. I love this watch. This is such a cool watch because if you're a gearhead like me, you're going to love watches and cars at the same time. And you see the livery here that harkens back to these days of 1972 with the first ever Porsche Carrera 911. And that's what this watch is commemorating, the 50th anniversary of that car that absolutely changed the world of sports cars. When it came out in 1972, there had not been a 911 with that ducktail spoiler that we've come to associate with the 911. It was a groundbreaking car. They viewed that spoiler really just as a solution to a problem because the car didn't handle very well at high speeds. So their engineers added it to provide some downforce, some extra traction on those rear wheels. They also flared the rear fenders for the first time and made the back wheels and tires wider than the front ones. First time they had ever done that. When it came out in 1972, it was planned to just be a very low production number car just so that they could get it entered into certain races. But the public went absolutely nuts for it, and nothing has ever been the same since. At the time, it was a 2.7 liter fuel-injected engine that made it the fastest production car that Germany had ever produced. And it really became one of these iconic looks of the entire 911 line as well as that particular car. And what you saw when you looked at it, it came in 27 different colors. They were all really bold, bright colors. This watch celebrates what they called glacier blue. If you Google that number or that name, you'll see that they really got it dead on for what the color of the car was. And it's really cool what they did with this watch because they housed it in a standard 42 millimeter Carrera case from Tag Heuer. They started their cooperation together, their collaboration between Tag Heuer and Porsche in 2021. This watch is a 2022. They only made 500 pieces of this watch, so I'm amazed that we've got it. It has such a cool look because it has the silvered opaline dial, but it has a lot of blue accents to harken back to that color of the 911 RS 2.7. And you also have the blue button on the pusher as well as on the crown. And then they put this great NATO strap on it that has that Carrera racing stripe all the way around it. It also comes with the H-Link bracelet, so you'll have your choice of putting either one on it. I love this NATO strap that they've got on it though. The dial has some blue accents around the edge of the dial, sort of a tachometer looking band up around 10, 11, 12 o'clock. The subdials are snailed, and it's interesting, there are only two subdials really, so it looks like it's a dual complex sort of chronograph layout, but there's actually a running seconds hand sort of hidden at 6 o'clock because they didn't give it a subdial. It's just sort of floating there right above the date aperture. But super cool, of course, fully loomed. It's the Heuer 02 movement, all in-house with a 80-hour power reserve. The exhibition Caseback shows off that movement, and it's absolutely beautiful. When we move that NATO strap out of the way, we can see that beautiful movement on the exhibition Caseback. And the reason I really wanted to show you this, they've made the rotor where it's the same design as a modern 3-spoke Porsche steering wheel. Love it. It's got all the Côte de Genève engraving and decoration and everything that you would expect from a watch of this caliber. One of the things that Porsche says they're really proud of is that the minute counter on the subdial harkens back to those Fox wheels that came on the car originally. Not sure I see it, but it's a cool thing. In keeping with all these Carrera-themed graphics that are on this watch, one of the coolest things about this one to me is that if you recall that original 1972 911 Carrera 2.7 RS, it said the word Carrera in a specific font really big on the side of the car between the front and rear wheel wells. And we have that same sort of stripe and font here with it actually is engraved and lacquer filled with the word Carrera. That same stripe and Carrera font and wording is carried over onto the NATO strap as well. But you can see it comes with all the accoutrement. It has the booklet, the correct box. This is an unworn condition, one of 500. Jump on it while we've got it here at Swiss Watch Expo.